Oh, yeah. So far, so good. No mistakes. It is early, though. Only 45 seconds deep. It is Thursday, January 12th, 2022. And from the home studio in Middletown, Delaware, I'm Marshal Manlove from Delaware Sports and my sports reports. This is a special interview segment of our show. And shortly, we will meet the head coach and a couple star football players from the Smyrna Eagle Football team, winners of Delaware's Class 3A championship. Where are we going next? Before we meet them, let me remind you that this is brought to you by me, Marshal Manlove, stage hypnotist. If you'd like a funny, fascinating, memorable experience for a party or an event that you are having, please consider my stage hypnosis show, details about which you can find at marshalmanlove.com. And also, special thanks go out to Jazzercise in Middletown. One of the proprietors there runs a very active Facebook group page for parents of high school athletes. They are kind enough to post up links to the videos that I produce in that group page, and I am appreciative of that. Now, hopefully, when I press this next button, my guests will appear. Where'd that go? Where'd it go, man? Seriously, where did that go? That's not it. This is a problem. Hang tight, guys. There it is. That's the one. I'll tell you what, technology's great when it works and all. Right? All right. You can put your microphones on there, guys. Sorry about that. Man. I can't get past 3 minutes without something going wrong. This is what happens when I work all this stuff by myself. I really need to invest some money in my show so I can pay someone to help me out, because I'm really not that bright. That's kind of the problem here. So here we go. I'm going to introduce to you now on the left of the screen, Smyrna Eagle head football coach Michael Judy. Mr. Judy, welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Oh, absolutely. Sorry I had to deal with this mess early on. You're like, man, this guy might be professional, and then you find out I'm not really all that professional. And a couple of your star players. Introduce yourselves there, young gentlemen.
Nate Chandler, DN.
Yamir Knight, wide receiver.
Yeah, your microphone broke up on you there. Who's over on the right there?
Yamir Knight, wide receiver.
And
Nate Chandler.
That's what broke up. That's what broke up there. All right, so Yamir and Knight, welcome. Thanks for making time to come talk with us. Coach, congratulations. Smyrna Eagles' 4th championship under your tutelage, first at Class 3A. So, how'd you do it?
Honestly, to win a championship, it requires obviously great kids, and good coaches and a good community, and then you also have to have luck on your side as well. It's a long season. I think these boys started August 4th. Is that right, guys? August 6th, somewhere in there?
Around there,
Yeah, something like that.
And they played all the way through December, and we were able to successfully dodge injury bullets and sicknesses, and we just found a way as a team to kind of, you have to approach it from a family perspective, and everybody, all 53 men on the roster, were part of that championship, and we leaned on each other throughout the whole time. So, and it was against good competition, so it was definitely a task that these guys were able to pull off.
Yeah. Now, how long have you been at the helm of the Smyrna football team in total?
This was my 9th year as head coach, 21 years overall.
44% winning percentage in championships then. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Right? That's pretty good.
Yeah. I'm very lucky.
Well, obviously very talented. It's one thing to run a couple of years because you have a couple special kids, but then to win after those kids go, rebuild the program and all. That's a testimony to you and your coaching staff and everything that you said, the community as well. Smyrna, very tight-knit sports community, that's for sure. Growing, still
Yes.
basically a small town, but still growing.
Yep.
And I know the field hockey team just won a state championship down there. I know. Did you have fireworks after your? Did somebody have fireworks for you?
Yeah, I'm not going to name names, but it's not exactly the most legal thing, I don't think. But yes, we have some very, very, very dedicated fans who, even though their sons may have graduated in years past, they continued that tradition of win or lose for home games. There's going to be fireworks, and it's just. It's kind of one of those things. It's the community's little touch, and I really appreciate it. It's really cool.
Yeah, that's definitely fun. So, Nate, tell me something about yourself. How old are you? What grade are you in?
I'm 18. I'm a senior.
And what positions do you play, or positions?
I mostly played defensive end, but I was blocking a lot at tight end.
Yeah. All right. So, obviously, the state championship highlight of the season. But what were some of the other highlights of the year for you?
I would say the Middletown game in the playoffs. That was a good win to have, being we lost them in the championship the year before, and then we lost them earlier in the season. But mostly, I would say the Middletown game, probably the Salesianum game. Those were two big games for me.
Yeah, so I was going to bring up the Middletown games, obviously, because there was the championship game last year, came in second place that day. And then the earlier game, second game of the season, was a 21-14 loss. So there was a lot of anticipation coming into that semifinal match, because I think really you hit your stride. I would say game 5 here, Coach, because from game 5 on, you guys didn't score less than 40 points. I'm not discounting games 3 and 4 because you won by 44-0, 22-0. But once hit the St. George's game, I mean, it was a train. You guys were just a freight train at that point. And after that close game with Middletown, a lot of anticipation going into that semi, and you just blew them out. What did you learn? 48-0. I mean, you outscored your opponents 150-7 in those 3 games. But what was the difference between the first game and the second game? What did you learn? How did you, or what improved over the course of that time?
Well, the guys in the program and these two young men here will attest that we talk about focusing on ourselves a lot, and we notoriously, as a program, at least in the last 9 years, we try, if you can avoid the injury bug, which does hit sometimes. Mm-hmm. We notoriously kind of get better and better as the season goes on, and really, I think it's just the way that my staff and the kids take to approaching a week, focusing on ourselves and trying to get better. And this year was no different. We opened up with a really tough game against Arundel, where we were not hitting our stride yet. Then we got into the Middletown game, the first Middletown game, and it was a complete battle. They played well, we played well. It was a really, really good game. And we just weren't quite there yet. There was a lot of meat left on the bone, and we left that game, and it was a blessing to take your lumps early, and with great senior leadership like these two young men that are on the screen with me right now, they don't waver. They didn't waver at all. They just kept their head down and kept working, and every week we just got a little bit better, and every day we got a little bit better, and it ended up, we start getting rolling, and the offense really took off, like you said, about week 4 or 5, and defense continued to stay tight, and and then we just kind of became became the bear at the end of the season that nobody really wanted to mess with. And for me, I've been coaching 21 years, and I'm just so happy that I've experienced it both as a coach and as a player, to be that team that people see on the calendar, on the schedule, and they say, oh man, we got to see those dudes. They're crazy,
Mm-hmm.
And I love that. I love that as part of the identity that we have and some of the crazy stuff that we do. And I'm so glad that these young men were able to feel that. And they no doubt felt it, because I could see it in their eyes every day.
Yeah, well said. I'm not a fan of the split into 3 different classes here, but I think with the larger schools and in your class, it did tighten up and toughen up the competition there. So for you to go on that role that you did offensively was pretty incredible, really.
Yeah, it really was. It was unbelievable, and it just, I mean, gosh, we still have some in the tank. I mean, if we didn't have to stop playing in December, I think we still had a bunch left, a bunch of growth left too. So it was a pretty impressive feat by these young men.
Yeah. Ymir, how old are you? What grade are you in?
I'm 17 and I'm a senior.
And you had a fantastic year.
Thank you.
In the tournament itself, you scored 6 touchdowns. Looks like you threw for 1 too. Is that correct?
Yep.
So talk about the touchdown that you threw, that particular play.
Well, in the state championship, I threw one. We were practicing that play for maybe 3 weeks prior to the championship game. So we were practicing that all throughout the week. Even like when we were playing like teams before, we just knew that we were going to get to that spot, and we just needed to execute the play for it to succeed, and we did. I actually threw another touchdown in the semifinal game versus Middletown. It was out of our earthquake package to our linebacker Cole Moyer, and he broke the first tackle and he did the rest.
Yeah. So I missed one. Yeah. So you had 2. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah. So what was your regular positions on the team, Ymir?
Well, I'm a wide receiver, but the coaches they like my versatility, so they really plug me in wherever, and wherever they plug me in is where I'm happy at, honestly.
That's a good attitude. Now, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you had a brother that came through.
Yep, I had 2, 3 actually.
3. Okay, yeah, few. Yeah. So you have a talented football family, that's for sure. And congratulations! I understand you were the Gatorade Player of the Year in Delaware for football.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Congratulations. And Coach, what other honors did these 2 win for the year here in Delaware?
Well, Ymir was first team all district, and player of the year in the district, offensive player of the year.
Yeah.
And then he was first team all state receiver, and also offensive player of the year, I believe, for the state in AAA. And then he also just got the Gatorade Player of the Year. And then I believe you were our Maxwell. You're either the Delaware Maxwell Club Player of the Year, which is a very cool club that focuses on the tri-state area, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware. And then I think in a couple weeks you're going to be going to a banquet, and it's kind of like a showdown between the 3: the Pennsylvania, the New Jersey, and the Delaware Maxwell Club Award winner.
Wow, cool.
To determine who is what they call the Jim Henry Award, which is the regional award. So that's, he had a tremendous year. Big Nate over there was first team all district. He was the district lineman of the year in District 2, and was a first team all state performer, and is committed to broke our school record for single season sacks with 15, I believe.
Oh wow.
Is that right?
I think it might have been 16.
Yeah, that's right. Don't let him cut you one short there.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
It was one
Never.
of the 2.
So he broke our single season sack record and had a tremendous year both against the run and the pass. And then he caught a couple balls on offense and was huge in our short yardage package and 2-point conversions. And then Nate is committed to Sacred Heart University,
Awesome.
which is the FCS program in Connecticut. Really, really good program. And Yamir, I missed you, buddy. You're committed to James Madison University, which is I believe they're in the Sun Belt. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
They're in the Sun Belt, which is a Group of 5 Division One school. So both these guys, tremendous athletes and performers, but even more so their GPAs. They are on top of their grades, both of them over a 3.0, and really great students, great kids.
Yeah, awesome. I can see why you brought them. Then excellent representatives for the Eagles there. So, guys, tell me something else about yourself. What do you like to do for fun? Do you play on any other sports, anything like that? We'll start with you, Yamir.
I played basketball my freshman and sophomore year. Kind of like died off of basketball. Put all like forwards to football. But yeah, I like basketball. I ran track in middle school also. I was a 3-sport athlete at the time. That's really it about me. I'm a snowboarding guy.
How about you, Nate?
I do all types of stuff outside of school, go to the beach and stuff like that. But athletics-wise, we got a volleyball team last year. I figured I'd go there, try it out just for fun. So I'm doing that now, playing volleyball. I wrestled in the past, won all conference in middle school. But, other than that, I just focus on football, really.
So what do you guys have an idea what you're going to study in college?
I'm currently undeclared. I'm leaning toward the business area. So somewhere in that field, maybe.
Okay. How about you, Nate?
I'm thinking something in the, the athletic part of studies. I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure what I want to do quite yet, but I know.
So you don't have to commit now. You don't have to commit here. You got plenty of time, right? What do you guys think you're going to miss about Smyrna High School and the football team when you leave? I know you're still there, so that might be a hard question, but if you were to think about it right now, what might that be?
Definitely gonna miss the coaches. Honestly, like from day one, we were held accountable to a certain goal, and they held us accountable to reach that goal. Honestly, I'm really gonna miss the family. I grew up in Smyrna. This is where I've been my whole life. Honestly, I knew these dudes before I even got to high school and started playing for them. They were my gym teachers, great role models. They just led everybody down the right path. Honestly, I'm really gonna miss those dudes, and I miss the family, the culture, everything about it. Even everybody that comes out and supports us, they don't know how much that means to us. So everything about the culture and our football family, I'm just really gonna miss.
Yeah, well said. How about you, Nate?
And
you can't say anything that he just said. You have to come up with something totally different.
It's mostly just I'm gonna really miss the chemistry. My first 2 years I spent at Dover High School, and I didn't really find a family there. And then I came to Smyrna. They welcomed me with open arms, and it was good. It's good chemistry all along. Offense, defense, O-line, D-line, receivers, corners. Everybody gets along. Just one big family.
All right. So, guys, talk about your coach here. Say something interesting, funny, positive about your coach there. You can now because it's over.
Coach Judy. Coach Judy is great, man. He's one of my teachers in school. I had that connection with him. Everything about Coach Judy from the time I met him, honestly, we really made really made an oath when Coach Judy was out. Everything we did was for Judy when he was out earlier in the season. So we really played like everything we did, every accomplishment, it was for Judy. And we really held that. And it's really because of how great of a person he is. Not even just coach, like he's just a great person. Has a great family, he's a great husband to his wife, great father to his kids. He is the blueprint.
Yeah.
Well said.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, like I said, I was at Dover first 2 years. When I came to Smyrna, I didn't know anything about any type of recruiting, anything like that. He helped me a lot with the college recruiting process. I could even go to say he's the reason I'm going to college today. So, you know, he's a really good guy, and he helps all his players and even people in just in the school. He's just a caring guy.
That's one thing about Judy. No matter what sport you play or anything, if you're a student at Smyrna High School, he is looking to help you.
Well said. And by the way, it'll help ratings if any of you guys shed some tears when you have these emotional moments talking about each other. Coach, so you mentioned some things about these guys, but what else should we know about them?
Man, first of all, they're gonna be missed. Every group that comes through here is special, and these guys were very, very special. These two young guys, I asked them to come on the show with us, with me, because they do represent us in the community and the school the right way. I mean, they're true student athletes. They're good people. They're role models. I think they noticed it when they were at this senior year, how much the little guys in the community look up to them. And it wasn't that long ago that both these little guys are both these big guys were running around as little guys behind the bleachers, playing football when they should have been watching us win games, and just kind of, creating great memories with their friends. And I'm just really proud of the way that they handle themselves in adversity, in the face of adversity, when things are going well, when things are going bad. And man, the leadership aspect is going to be so hard to replace. But the beauty of it is that they left their legacy. They left their legacy with not just in football for the state of Delaware and what they accomplished, but also with our team and our program and our community. And we kind of talk about it a lot is, in a small town, like many of the towns in Delaware, when you accomplish great things, not just as an athlete, but as a person, you kind of become legendary. Mm-hmm. And you become a figure that people will talk about and remember. And it's really important. And these guys took that the right way, is to make sure they're talking about the right thing. When you're long gone and doing your thing in the big world, you want to make sure that they remember Nate and Yamir as being real dudes, real guys that did it the right way. And these guys definitely did. So we're going to miss them for that. And then on a personal level, I'm going to miss seeing them in class and, joking and messing with them, and the smiles and the dap, getting the bro hugs and the daps and all that. That's the stuff I'll miss the most, but I'll pester them via text while they're in college and make sure they're getting their snacks and whatever else they like. And, I really look forward to watching them continue to grow into great men.
Yeah, well said. So, guys, you weren't the only two players on the team. You wouldn't have been able to win a championship if just you two guys were just hanging out there passing the ball to each other. I don't think that would have worked. So talk about some of the other guys. Drop some names who were important to you in any way whatsoever, whether it's just, they helped push you along, they were important playmakers, whatever it was. Go ahead, feel free.
Well, I mean, we could name the whole team and scout offense, scout defense. We can name everybody, but because everybody really contributed equally in their own way. But if I had to list off a couple names, I would have to say Evan Blower, pushing me outside of practice to go to the gym and work out. Jaden Pricey, every day, me and him going at it, one-on-ones, all that. Brandon West, he's our other side DN. Me and him kind of we got good chemistry and we just go at it all the time. And then, that's why I would say made me better. Those are guys that really contributed to my success.
Ymir?
Honestly, I love all my teammates equally. But one dude that really stands out to me is Ryan Wright, our quarterback. He had a huge role to step into this year, and he did it. He came in as a one-year starter and won a state championship with we've been playing with him for the previous years, 3 years before this. But, we had quarterbacks above him. Like, we had Aiden Sanchez and Cameron Edge, two great quarterbacks playing collegiate football. And he just waited his turn. And he really showed a lot of poise this year, even from game planning to where he wasn't really throwing the ball as much as people thought he would in certain situations. And he just really, he was a team guy throughout the whole journey. And I'm glad to have him on my team, honestly.
Yeah, well said. So, Coach, fill in any blanks there. You want to add some more names? You want to talk about some of your coaches? Let's make sure that we do a complete chat here.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the boys summarized it pretty well. I mean, we have we graduate a great group of guys, really left their mark on the program, but we bring back a bunch of underclassmen that had some big impacts as well. And even some underclassmen that earned all state. So it's going to be a good group, and they're going to be hopefully just as fun to coach as these guys were. Every group you graduate one kid off of a team and it's a completely different team every year. So I'm looking forward to that. I really want to give I think a little insight to my staff. These guys, I am blessed as a head coach to have an excellent high school football coaching staff. Some of the best guys around, some of the best guys in the business. And to not just to have them coaching with me currently, but to have had these guys coaching with me for so long, and not just coaching, but our kids are friends, we're friends, the wives hang out. It's just it's an awesome group of people to be around. And coaching football is stressful, and we lean on each other a lot. Ymir mentioned, I was out earlier in the year with some health issues, and it was one of those things I didn't want to not be there, but Coach Dan Wagner, he kind of took over the managerial aspects of the football program, along with his job as the defensive coordinator. Worked side by side with Coach Mike Marks, who's our offensive coordinator. Coach Soft Murray jumped in, Coach Barnes, offensive line and defensive line coaches. These guys just jumped in and just started chopping wood and doing whatever it took to help get us through, a rough patch. And when I couldn't be there to do my job. And that's the type of guys you want in your foxhole with you. Mm-hmm. And, I'm very, very grateful for them. I'm also very grateful for our wives and our significant others. A lot of people outside of coaching don't realize that, during football season, they are parenting and holding the house down, much like a single parent would be. Mm-hmm. And it's our success and happiness totally lies with them. And, my wife, Deb, and Tessa and Sarah and Jen Wagner and everybody, they do so much for us and kind of go unseen. So I want to make sure I give them a shout out.
Yeah, you better.
Got to do that. Got to keep the wives happy. And they're just great. They're great. And they love these kids. They love these kids just as much as we do, and they miss them just as much as we do when they move on.
Wanted to give another shout out to one of my dudes, wide receiver number 4, Nolan Fretz. Not many, not many has known or know, but Nolan played with a torn meniscus the whole entire season.
Oh, wow.
And he was at every practice, every game, playing to the best of his ability. He was supposed to get surgery right before the Middletown game, and told the doctors and all his parents, like, no, I'm going to play this season. I'm going to do it until I can't no more, basically. And you see his breakout game, the championship game, when the lights got the brightest, he shone.
Wow. That's a good story. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, we have referred to him as Captain Clutch. Mike Marks, our offensive coordinator, talked a lot about this year about being clutch. And what does that mean? It means, for us, it means coming up big. It means being there when you need to be there, being there when your family needs you, being present, being solid. And the clutch, we have a bunch of clutch guys that took that role seriously. I don't think anybody's more clutch than Fretz. Fretzy never complains. He blocks, he runs routes, he catches the ball, he scores touchdowns, but everything he does is out of love for his teammates. I mean, it is so apparent. I mean, you can see it oozing out of his pores. I mean, he just loves these guys. And, you can't get more clutch than that. When the chips are down, that guy's going to make a play for you, and that guy's going to work his tail off. And like Yamir alluded to, I mean, he could have ended his season and, did what he had to do, but he chose not to. And, I've been there as a player as well. And I don't think you can get more clutch than what he did this year.
Yeah, well said. All right, gentlemen. I want to thank you for taking time to speak with me for a little while. It was good to get to know you. Coach, I'm sure I will see you again in one of these situations here sometime. Yeah, maybe next year.
Absolutely will.
You can just come talk to me anytime. I'm always looking for people to talk to, so I'm lonely here in the studio. So you just call me up, say, hey, want to talk football or something, or golf? I don't care. We'll make that happen too.
Anytime, man.
Nate, if you're playing volleyball, I might see you in a couple months. I referee volleyball too, and the boys are going to have their first official DIAA state championship this year.
Yeah,
and,
go for another ring.
Is Wanless coaching? Wanless coaches you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's a good coach too.
Yeah.
The volleyball team had a great year.
Sure.
So that'll be fun. All right. Yeah. Well, Yamir, I don't know if I'll see you or not. I will see Nate, but best of luck to you regardless of whether I see you or not. If I see you in person, I'll shake your hand and do all that kind of stuff too.
Absolutely.
All right, gentlemen. Wave goodbye to our growing fan base here at Delaware Sports and My Sports Reports. I'm going to click end for all. Best of luck to you. Continue success and have a great night.
Thanks a lot. Go Eagles.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Take care. Thank you.
All right. Sorry, I cut him off there. That's the Smyrna Eagle football team represented by head coach Michael Judy and a couple of their star football players, Nate Chandler and Yamir Knight. Special thanks go out to my wonderful, beautiful wife, Donnie M., my friends Joey V., Tommy K., supporters from day one. Please, if you would be so kind, take a look at the bottom left. Oh, not that, Marshall. Take a look. What am I doing here? I was doing so well. Look at the bottom left-hand corner of the screen there for a second. The email address is going to scroll across the screen. If you would like to send me items of interest, hit that email address, please, mysportsreports@gmail.com. If you have an athletic milestone of some sort that one of your athletes has reached, send that to me. We do a special segment about amateur athletic milestones. If you'd like to arrange an interview with your team, same email address, mysportsreports@gmail.com. Please, if you would be so kind, subscribe to these videos wherever you might find them, like them, share them. It helps get into the algorithm so we can help promote our local athletes to more people. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, time now being 6:15. That means it's time for dinner here at home studio in Middletown, Delaware. A little late for my liking as far as dinner is concerned. hope it doesn't interfere with dessert. I'm out of here as soon as I hit this button. Right?